G'day guys, how are you all doing? Today we're going to be doing the second part of the walkthrough. So this is part 2, this is going to be all about the trailer. So I bought the trailer about 3 months ago now, and in all honesty I haven't had gotten to use it that much. We at the moment are in the middle of the big lockdown in New South Wales in 2021, so we're about 5 weeks into that. So I haven't been able to go anywhere, which sucks. But I've been doing lots of mods to it, so I thought I'd end up doing a walkthrough of it. To show you guys the setup and how it all works, and give you a quick rundown of it. Alrighty, so this walkthrough should be a lot shorter than the car one. There's a lot less to cover on the trailer, but I'll try and go through a bit quicker too, because I know that video ended up getting a bit long. So, starting up front, sitting on the Mick hitch. I talked about that in the last video. If you want to check that out, I'll put a timestamp of when it was in the last video. But yeah, great hitch again. Here I've just got an Anderson plug. This runs my DC to DC charger, which is in the trailer. So I've got another Anderson on the back of the ute, which then plugs into that to run and power. Standard 7-pin trailer plug. Everyone knows what that does for all the lights. I've got a jockey stand leg here, and I've also got a jockey wheel, so I've got both. The stand leg I find is a lot better. I've already had 2 wheels on me flog out because I have to raise this drawbar so high to get it to low level with the car. So it puts a lot of load on them. So what I do is I put the jockey leg down, usually when it's just sitting here like it is now. And that takes the load off the wheel. And speaking of the wheel, it's just an 8-inch cheap wheel from Repco. It's one of the cheapest ones I had. But it seems to do the job, works pretty well. This one is a lot better than the last 2 I had. I had the big 10-inch rubber wheel ones, and both times I had 2 of those from Repco, and the bearings flogged out on them within like a month. So lucky I got warranty on those, but yeah, I've gone to the solid wheel now, and it seems to be a lot stronger so far. Also up front, I've got 2 20-litre diesel jerrys, so they're in the ARC jerry can holder, so they're lockable. It's really handy, especially if you're going like out back and stuff. You don't want people pinching your fuel. It's also really good. They've got the cover over the spout, so you can it's fully locked up. No one can take your diesel at all. Like, they can't get into it. And then in the middle of that, I've just got a 9 kilo gas bottle. So don't know why there's ropes here at the moment, but that's not usually there. And then yeah, I've just got cable brakes that run to the axle, which I will talk about because I put that on you as well. So yeah, that's about it. Oh, and also under there is a solar connection. So there's an Anderson plug just in here. I'll just quickly show you. So I don't know if you're going to be able to see that, but down in there, there's an Anderson plug that is for my solar. Alrighty, so moving on to the passenger side of the trailer now. This is the main side we kind of camp out of. So I'll start there. Simple fold down table is just on a chain. I've also got a leg for it though, so it makes it super stable. I can do anything I want to do on that. Works really, really well. Moving across, so we've got this big open storage space, which we're trying to figure out what we're going to do with it. We want to make a pantry in here of some sort. We're contemplating whether to put the pantry there or up in that next level there. But yeah, it's got heaps of storage, which I really like. It makes it really easy when you've got that much room to put stuff. So next to that, I've got my kick-ass travel oven. That's awesome. We cook full roast in this thing. It's unreal. It's so handy. It draws a lot of power though, so I only really run it when I know I'm going to be driving or if I am driving. Otherwise, it kind of just chews too much battery, like running it at camp. There we just have random stuff like Glad wrap, baking paper, aluminium foil, a couple dishcloths, couple cutting boards, stuff like that. That again, I'm going to change how that is. Obviously that'll just bump around everywhere at the moment, but we're not really sure if we're going to put all that stuff down or leave it there, so that's why it's kind of a mess at the moment. And then up the top there, don't know if you're going to be able to see it, it's very dark on the camera. I'll bump up the ISO. So that is our companion dual burner stove, which is brilliant. The only thing I don't like about it is that it doesn't have a case, but apart from that, it is unreal. It's one of the hottest ones I could find because I'm a chef, so I hate trying to use the little bloody butane stoves. They're just crap. They do not work properly. This one runs off that gas bottle at the front and it gets ripping hot. This one can get hotter than my stove at home, so yeah, really happy with that. and up there's just all the trivet and everything for the stove in that bag up there, and the gas line. Moving across here, so this I've already done a full review on. It's the Kick-Ass 75 litre dual zone fridge freezer, so I'll put a link in the video now if you want to go watch that. Click on that after this video. But yeah, that is an excellent fridge freezer. I won't go into too much detail, I've done a review on it. But moving across, I have my little, pull it out so we can show you. So I made this up, it's just a little pull-out bracket. It's very crude, very simple, but it works really well. And that's just on a water pump that runs to a tank on the other side. And yeah, it's excellent. It works really well, that. It's not too quick of a flow rate either, so you're not going to burn through your water tank, but it's fast enough for like washing hands and filling up drink bottles and all that kind of thing. So yeah, here I've just got a switchboard that runs my lights. So this one does the lights up in the canopy. This one does both lights here and up under there. So they work really well, they're freaking bright. And then that switch is for the lights on the other side, which I'll show you in a minute. But this one I'll turn back on in a minute once I set up the tent, because I've put lights in the tent and it works really well. One last thing I forgot to add is just our 12 volt control box there. So it's one of those first aid kits from Bunnings. It has USB ports, fuse block, Anderson plug. It's got enough for what I use it for. I charge phones and camera gear off there, and it works really well. It's simple but effective, so I'm not going to complain about that. So yeah. Alright, so this side I'm just going to talk about really quickly. It's quite simple, so we come over here. It's going to be a bit overexposed, but lighting is just really hard to work with today. So, pretty simple. Under here, so this goes underneath that other side, because this is a normal box trailer, so you got that extra depth. So, under there I've got table, I've got the annex for the tent, I've got my chairs in here, a solar blanket which I don't use. I've got a like fold out solar panel now, but that's just backup. I've got recovery gear, air compressor, all of that is under here. So I just made these that lift up, so you can get under there, and these also double as now a storage shelf, and they work really well. So yeah, they can hold a fair bit of weight. So I put my panel up here, and just general bits and bobs like clothing and all that kind of stuff I put up here. And then over there, just quickly show that part, we've just got a 60 litre canoe drum. It works fine for what I need it to do. Here is just a battery monitor, so it's a shunt, so it tells you like amps in and out, all that stuff. There's the DC to DC charger. Under there's the water pump that runs that other side, that tap, and under there, in that little gap in there, are the two batteries. I'm going to make more plywood to cover that, all the open gaps there, but I'll leave the drum exposed, so that's fine. But yeah, I just haven't got around to doing that yet. There's a bunch more stuff I need to do on this trailer, but I'm just doing it when I got time, bit after bit. I still do work full time, so yeah, finding time's a bit tight, but we'll make it work. I'll quickly talk about the axle and stuff as well while I'm here. So this had originally just had like standard trailer tyres, like real small trailer tyres on it. I think they were 25 inch in total. And I took it to the beach and they just weren't big enough. Got bogged straight away. They were like cheese cutters, they were real thin as well. So yeah, just made it like an anchor on the beach. So ended up, I also took it to a weighbridge and it was 750 kilos, which in New South Wales, that's the limit for unbraked trailers, and this didn't have brakes before I put this axle on it. So I was like, you know what, bite the bullet. I bought a 1.5 tonne axle that can now fit, it's got disc brakes on it, mechanical disc brakes, and I bought new guards, these mud guards, so I could fit, these are now 30 inch tyres, so these are 30 inch all-terrains, they're just J-Tracks, which is Bob Jane's kind of house brand. But yeah, it's I haven't taken it off-road since, but it feels a lot better on the road to drive. It tows a lot nicer now as well. And it made it so I could flip the hitch on my car over so I could get a bit more drawbar height. So now it rides a lot higher and like just less chance of getting bogged. It's still running the stock springs that were in here. I might have to upgrade them, I'm not really sure. I'm, tossing up whether I'm going to put heavier springs in there or not. But it doesn't have any shocks or anything, it's not independent, it's just a solid axle, like a standard trailer, but it works really well. And then here as well, I just made these scrub bars up on the front and back, just for a bit of protection. If you're coming up against a tree or something, it'll bounce off of these instead of smashing your mud guards in and wrecking them. Alright, so now I'm just going to really quickly talk about the roof and the rooftop tent. So front of the roof has a platform that used to go the whole way back, and the tent was on top of that, but then I cut it down, welded it back up just to make the front of it like a rack, and now the tent sits flush to the roof. It just lowered the centre of gravity a bit after I lifted it so high. It was getting a bit top heavy, and I was like, yeah, want to drop that down a bit. The tent itself is just the King's Tourer, the soft one, and that's been really good. It came with the trailer when I bought it, and yeah, we've used it once and can't complain about it. It's been like good for the money. So I'll just quickly show inside of the tent. So that last switch I was talking about in the tent, so that powers these lights here, and also if we come up inside of the tent, we have that light up there. Now what's also good about this is because usually, because it's on that switch down there, you wouldn't think I'd be able to turn it off like once you're up here, but I have a dimmer switch up there. So all of the lights, this light and the one in the front are both controlled off that dimmer switch over there. I don't know why it won't focus. But yeah, that works really well. So you turn your lights on before you come in when it's dark, climb up the ladder, hop in the tent, get organised, and then you can turn all the lights off from that switch there. And then before I get out in the morning, I just turn that back on, and then come down here, hop out of the tent, and just flick that switch off there. So then that means that turns all the lights off, and they're ready to go next time I want to get back up in the tent. So that's the trailer. I hope you guys enjoyed. Yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to leave them below in the comments. I'll respond to all of them, as I said in the last video. And please consider subscribing and drop a like, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.